joining us. My name is Neha, and today we are going to talk about something very important and very unique: remedial education. The term worries a lot of people, especially the parents. Most of the schools today provide facilities regarding remedial education. But what does this actually indicate? What do we mean by remedial education? The first worrisome thought comes into parents' mind is when the child is referred to remedial educator. They either get into denial, stating that there's nothing wrong with my child, or they start wondering what is wrong with my child. Well, both these approaches are super destructive and not helpful at all. To answer all these questions about remedial education, we have someone very special with us today. Her name is Dipali. Ms. Dipali has been working in the field for more than 16 years as a remedial educator. She has done her postgraduate diploma in neurological, physical, and multiple disabilities from Spastic Society. She started working with the school who caters to students with special abilities. After that, she joined multiple inclusive schools and psychiatric clinics. Currently, she is working with an IB school in Mumbai. Ms. Dipali, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to shoot some common questions about remedial education at you. My first question is very simple. What is remedial intervention? What does this term indicate?
Remedial intervention is a tool, okay? It's a very important tool in the field of special education because it caters to the needs of special children in terms of managing their behavior, working on their skill development, taking care of the academic aspects, their sensory needs, their language. So it's a vast and a very subjective umbrella. There are a lot of categories into when we say remedial intervention. There are a lot of categories that are included into it. Now, who requires remedial intervention or how the tool works or benefits the students, it all depends on each child's needs. But yes, it's very essential. If it is required, it is essential and a necessity part of any child with special needs.
Dipali, you said remedial education is an individualistic need. So, when do I decide or when do I choose to take my child for remedial education and how?
As a parent, let's go to look at the early intervention stages. Okay, so if your child is indicating delayed milestones or delayed speech development, these are the first indicators that there is some kind of issue or concern with your child. Consult your neurologist or consult your general pediatrician. Get the child tested and checked, because as doctors they are very well aware about the indicators at very early stages. Okay, so get them checked. Let's say you get to know the child starts exhibiting concerns when he comes to a certain age of working independently, but he is not able to cope up with independent functioning or managing himself or herself. Those are also the basic interventions to keep a check on. Look at the academic performance of the child, look at the social skills of the child. How is he performing, is he showing, is he exhibiting some kind of concerns in those areas. If there are certain children who may have average level of intelligence, but what are the factors behind average or below average level of academic performance is something will give you an insight if there are any special needs concerns that the child has. You will, so this requires a lot of interaction with the teachers, with the school. You have to sit and observe with the tutors. You have to kind of get yourself involved to understand why your child is not able to cope up with the grade level curriculum or syllabus. Okay, when it comes to academic concerns. But if the child is good in academics but has issues dealing with the social skills, interpersonal skills, he's not mingling in the family, there is issues with the language, with the communication, which are not at the age level, which are not in sync with the chronological age, then these are indicators that there is some concern that the child is dealing with. And as I said, then you will have to consult the professionals for further understanding whether there are special needs concerns or not. Then there are various tests that we can run through to reach to a conclusion. As you know that you we suggest parents to undergo psychological evaluation, a psycho evaluation assessment that gives the clarity if there are any concerns with the child.
The common question which has been asked to us is that how is remedial education different than private individualized tuitions?
In practice in our society, very unfortunately, but yes, there is a major difference between private tutoring and having a remedial educator. Private tutoring is basically will take care of your syllabus, of the grade syllabus, of the homework, getting the homework completed, re-explaining the concepts or the lessons. So that is content development, content based, concept based learning. But when we talk about remedial intervention, it will work on the skills or the prerequisite attributes that are required to cope up with the grade level syllabus. Okay, ideally it should go hand in hand. If a child is clinically diagnosed with any kind of special needs, so basically it should go hand in hand, but you cannot give more importance to have a private tutor. You can't compare private tutoring with remedial intervention. It wouldn't be just for the kids or for the need of the kids.
The next question is very sensitive in nature. Most of these parents ask us if my child is going to get cured of the disability after remedial intervention. I know this term is very offensive, unethical, and insensitive in nature, but there are questions around the term. There are questions linked around the term. Will you elaborate more on it? Will you tell us more about this term?
Okay, this is very interesting because when we talk about curing or getting cured, firstly, let me clarify that having a child with disability or having any kind of disability is a lifelong aspect of that person's life. It is not a disease. Okay, it's not a disease that can be cured with medicines and with interventions. The disorder is going to stay with the child forever. Yes, the degree may vary as the child grows or the child has been given exposure towards the intervention or towards the development, but it is not curable. It is a myth. I interact with lot of parents and lot of professionals also who come or who have this kind of a thought that it after intervention, after a period of intervention, it is going to be cured. So we have to somehow eliminate this term cure or to be cured or will be cured from the special education stream itself, because it is something that has to be managed by the child or by the person with disability all their lives.
Another common misconception is that if the child is taking remedial education during the school days or school years, he or she may not even go to college or pursue higher education. Is it true?
Not really. Yes, if we are looking at children with, or we are looking at adults with profound degree of disability, yes, there are certain limitations to lead a independent life, but not if the child falls into borderline or a mild or a moderate category. Okay, they are capable of completing their education. They are capable of acquiring office skills also, and to get themselves employed to certain extent. But here we have to also understand the type of disability the child may have and the degree of the disability. These two aspects, these two factors play a very, very important role to kind of graph how their life or their future is going to be when it comes to education. So to answer very specifically to your question whether they can get into the college and acquire that kind of an education, yes, they can, because there is something called NIOS board also which works towards this. You know, they cater to students, they provide ample of concessions and modifications and accommodations in grade 12 also. So there are ample of facilities. Yes, the awareness about these accommodations is something very very limited in our society.
Last question is very simple. Is remedial education expensive?
Yes, it's a very tricky question, Sneha, because it all depends. Firstly, what is your economic status? You know, how well to do are you in your life? It also depends from professional to professional. There is no standard, bifurcation of the charges led by any education ministry or any education department. However, if we have to look into the policies set by the government, it says in the right of education, the revised right of education, that every child with special needs should have free of education. But practically, if we have to look into it, it is not in practice, it's not been exercised. And every center, every school, or every organization that is catering to children with special needs have their own management setup, have their own policies. And yes, it also depends which location are you situated in. The fees or the charges or the remuneration, it all depends on the management and the location you come from, the background that you come from. There are no set standard charges for it. There is no uniformity in charging the parent. So if I come from a low socio-economic background, I am going to find paying 250 rupees also for per hour for my child. It's going to take a toll on my economic budget in life, you know. So this question is very tricky to answer, whether it's expensive or it's not expensive. It should be brought down to one standard uniform charges is what I feel. Conclude is what I feel is, Neha, that it's not difficult to work with the students, but yes, it's very difficult to convince the parents or make them understand the severity of the entire situation, or what the kids are going through. So I feel they are the ones who have to first start accepting that there is an issue, there is a concern, but there are solutions to this concern. There is a way we can deal with it and manage it. So they have to accept their kids at the first place, and they have to just be there for them, because that is the biggest support that can a child look for and the child needs for. You know, the parents should not give up give up on their kids is what I feel is very very important. And yes, second thing that I feel is important is to spread or create more awareness about it. You know, somehow we have to eradicate this illusion and this myth that the society has towards kids with special needs. We have to include them. We have to treat them equally, just like any other child, any other mainstream or a so-called normal child, is what I feel is the need of the time right now. These are two aspects which we have to start bringing change by looking into these two aspects to progress, or to look into future that this field will progress, or some advancements can be anticipated. So yeah, these are the two things which I feel right now are very very important.
Thank you, Ms. Dipali, for answering all our questions and concluding the whole session for us.
Thank you so much for having me, for giving me this opportunity.
Well, to conclude, irrational fear and worry about remedial education is not going to take us anywhere. It will just lead to discrimination and denial. Acceptance is the key to have a healthy parent child relationship. Ultimately, all we want is a healthier and happier child. If you have enjoyed our conversation, please hit the like button. Thank you so much.